What's up, my people? Welcome to Enter the Maya with me, the G, your boy, Henry. And today I'm going to start a series on the Law of One. And before we get into it, I feel like this needs to be a little introduction. And the Law of One is channeled by an entity or a being called Ra, right? And so when you hear Ra, what do most people think that are woke or in spiritual communities? They think, Ra, the sun god of Egypt. And you would be correct. And so they call him a god, but they're not really gods, right? And they are what people consider, what Ra calls himself through the channelings is a social memory complex. Social memory complex. And that in the third dimension we live in is this mind, body, spirit complex. And so Ra, they come from the sixth density. And meaning that like we're in the third density right now. And so like the complex is that they are one consciousness of beings like us that have united in thought form, that have completely united. So they went to the fourth dimension, fifth dimension, now they're in the sixth dimension. And they even had to lower their vibration, I guess you could say, down to the fifth dimension, density, the fifth density, just to be able to channel the message between the fourth dimension to the third dimension to us. Yeah, and it's channeled by this lady. I can't really remember. Damn it, I should have wrote her name down. And so basically, they're sixth density consciousness that has already graduated through all the other densities, and they came here to help us because the great harvest is coming up to where we can be able to do that. So that is who Ra is, and they don't like to be considered as gods because the Egyptians actually called them gods, and that's where everything happened. You know what I'm saying? They messed up. It's like they're not gods. They haven't made it because there's 8 levels of density, and the 8th level is the final graduation, which is going back to one with the Creator. And he also says that they are from Venus, and they are part of the confederation of planets. And that Venus, which is alive, it says everything that we see, everything's alive. Everything in this world is alive. And I wrote down some of the quotes just so you can kind of know who they are and what kind of beings they are. And so this is one of the first things he says. He says, "We now feel the great responsibility of staying in the capacity of removing the distortions and power that have been given to us of the Law of One. We will continue in this until we shall say, your cycle appropriately ended. If not this one, then the next level, then the next one." And so like what me and you term today as the ascension, that's what he's talking about. When they say the harvest, that's basically what they're saying. When we ascend, when our consciousness unites into one. And the reason why they feel the responsibility is because when they came down to Egypt and that's why Ra, the sun god, which they put him as the god, when they came down, the priest and the pharaoh, Akhenaten, distorted the message or perverted it to where they took out half of it so they could still have control, like making a religion like most religions today. And so also they went down to South America. That's why you see that all the great pyramids over there in South America. And so that's why things got distorted. I think that's why, I don't know if it was the Mayans or the Aztecs, like started slaughtering people so the gods would come back because they left. It was 11,000 years ago when they came. And then they left because everything got distorted. And so they want to come, they feel responsible now to stay here with us to help guide us through the harvest, right? And so to basically tell you what the Law of One is, or what they are, because like we live in polarity, or what we think polarity is, but everything really is all connected, no matter what. That's what they're saying. And as we move through the densities, on the sixth density, where they're at, that's when you realize that they are the Law of One. When they jive so to get all together. Like, so even when Ra's speaking, he's speaking as the collective, not just one individual. He's speaking as every single one of his people with him talking, like they're speaking as one. And so in the words of Ra, this is what truly the law of one is. He said, in truth, there is no right or wrong. There is no polarity, for all will be, as you would say, at some point in your dance, through this mind-body-spirit complex, which you amuse yourself by distorting in various ways at this time. This distortion is not in any case necessary. It is chosen by each of us as an alternative to understanding the complete unity of thought which binds all things. You are not speaking of similar or somewhat like entities or things. You are everything, every being, every emotion, every event, every situation. You are unity. You are love, light, light, love. You are. This is the law of one. And so they're helping us with our distortions because we're so focused. Even myself, I've been focused on polarity too, like, oh, good versus bad, like us against them. But no, we're all going for the same goal. That's it. We're all trying to unite with ourselves in consciousness through our mind, body, spirit complex to be able to move up to that next the fourth density. And I think the fourth density is like actual love, like where we start to like understand, like, yo, you're me and I'm you and you're I and she's us. Like, so we start to love each other. We actually love our neighbors like we love ourselves. You know what I'm saying? And so yeah, that's a little bit about Raw and who they are as a collective. And I'm gonna keep diving into the books, and as the knowledge are the golden, the nuggets that I see that I feel are good to put out there, I'm gonna make more videos on it. So my people, love and light to you. Knowledge is power. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share, please. And so look forward to more of the Law of One. Thank you, peeps.